Welcome all. So, today I'm going to go ahead and teach you about proxies, how they are used to mask your real IP address, and I will show you how you can use a proxy, how you can actually configure your own proxy for others to use, and I will show you what the person controlling the proxy can actually see. So if you have your own proxy, if there are a lot of people, if there are people connecting to it, and believe me, there will be people connecting to it, especially if it's a free version of it. You'll be able to see their traffic in essence, which is kind of hilarious. But a lot of people think just because they're going over a proxy that gives them a good amount of anonymity, but not really. The person controlling the proxy sees a lot of things which you would rather not, which you would rather remain anonymous, that nobody sees it, but they do because they run over their servers, so they have the ability to monitor the servers, and I will show you how this is done. Now, because you need to set up a proxy server, I will do most of these things in the cloud. I deliberately actually opted out not to show you how to do it on your own machine, even though it is very much possible and quite frankly not that difficult. But it's also kind of dangerous because you're opening up your own machine to the external traffic, and for an inexperienced person, that is a very bad idea. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how we can actually connect to a proxy. Let's fire up Firefox. So Firefox, and if I only have one instance of Firefox open because I'm gonna go ahead and configure Firefox to use a proxy. So you can configure it here, but that's a GUI interface for Firefox. Well, I might as well show you. I mean, it's not a big deal. Preferences. If you just go to, where is it? Is it general search, applications, security, advanced networking should be there. Advanced networks. So you can actually configure your connection here. You can use the manual proxy configuration, but I prefer to use the system proxy settings. So when I go ahead and type in proxy chains and tunnel the Firefox through the proxy chains, I'm going to be connected to a proxy over which I will go elsewhere. Another thing that this doesn't really allow you to do is, at least I don't know of a way. There could be. It's very possible that there is a way to create chains of proxies so that you hop from one proxy to another and then bounce back to your destination. So this is not something that I like to use at all. Rather, instead, if you let's just confirm what is my IP. So this is my IP address at the moment. And if I go ahead and type in list of free proxies, I don't know, let's just go ahead and open some of them. You can actually also pay for proxies and they will be very stable and they will work and they'll be very fast, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use the ones that I got. So it says here Sarajevo, Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, so you know where I am. And I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these. Oh, these actually go over the domains. Oh, wow. Let me just use the IP address. It's better that way. Okay, so India. No. You have them set here can list them by the anonymity level. The reason why I said India no, it's because it's way too far and my connection will be kind of slow and the bandwidth in India is not the best. China. I've been in China and it's a great place, but the connection it's not slow, but like there are a lot of sites which are actually blocked. But hey, that's why they have VPNs, but then it slows down. Anyway, let me just go ahead and use the, oh, come on, isn't there anything in Europe like, You can forget about it. I'm gonna go ahead and use the US ones. There's a fairly good link in terms of cable between the Europe and the US, so I can use these. Anyway, it says here IP address, port, and protocol. These are all HTTP and HTTPS proxies. I wonder if they have any SOCKS 5 proxies. No, apparently they do not, so I'm not going to go ahead and use these. Generally, you want to SOCKS 5 as they are the best proxies available out there. Okay, so let's have a look at here. SOCKS 5. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use these. SOCKS 4. Oh well. Okay, so now that we have this page opened up, we can go ahead and start installing the tools that we actually need. So you will need to install proxy chains. Just be root. Oh wait, I'm still with my tour thing lectures. Type in DNF, search proxy chains, and you will get them here. Then just type in DNF install proxy chains, and you don't need to type in the arch here. Actually, you can just type in proxy chains, and that will be sufficient. -ng. Okay, so it's already installed, so there is literally nothing to do there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and type in vim/etc proxychains.conf. And I'm going to go ahead and expand this console a little bit so I can actually see what is going on. And here you have a good amount of options. So you have the dynamic chain, you have the strict chain, you have round robin chain, random chain, and some other things, but they're really not important that well. This one is here by default, so that's good, but they're really not that important. So what we want is to actually, first of all, use a dynamic chain. What does it mean? Well, if you have a list of proxies through which you wish to go, you can utilize the strict chain, what is set here by default. And a strict chain is generally a good option if you have a list of paid proxies and you know that they will work 100% pretty much. But it's a pretty bad option if you are using free proxies, because they tend to go up and down, and if one of the proxies in the chain is down, your entire chain will be unusable. So the dynamic chain is superior in this regard, because regardless of whether or not all the proxies are functional, the chain will still work in a dynamic fashion. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'm going to delete this. Press I for insert mode, and then you'll be able to type things in. And I will comment the strict chain out. I also have the round robin, which is kind of a hybrid thing. Feel free to read through it, but I generally like to use either the random chain or the dynamic chain. So random chain is a fairly good thing, so each connection will be done via random proxy. But again, random and dynamic chains are really good when you have a list of free proxies, and sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down, so it's not a bad idea to actually use them. You can leave everything else as it is. Wow, they've actually increased the configuration file since the last time I've seen it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and type in SOCKS 5 127.0.0.1 950. Okay, just so you know, if you don't type in any of the proxy lists, any proxies like here, like they are typed in this example here, the proxy chains will by default actually use the Tor network in order to anonymize you, which is actually one of the best types of anonymization protocol, one of the best ways of being anonymous on the net. But since we're gonna have a separate lecture for the Tor, we're gonna go ahead and see how this works with the manual list of proxies when you type them in. Okay, so it says here US. Let's go ahead and type it in. So just what type? Dude, are you serious? Are you not listing the type? Here are some free socks proxies that are just checked. Yes, but is it socks 4 or socks 5, genius? Ah, okay, version socks 5. Thank you very much for my stupidity, but oh well. Let's go ahead and begin typing them in as the example above demonstrates. So if you have a paid proxy, you'll just need to probably type in the password, the username and the password. So the username goes here and the password goes here. That's quite literally it. So socks 5, and this is gonna be like, what's the IP address? Let's just copy it. I am not in the mood to type today like a bad. Let's go ahead and take the port as well, and there we go. So let me just go ahead and delete this tabify it, so to say. Okay, I'm one of the people that likes to use tabs a lot, and that's against spaces completely. Don't start an argument in the discussion sections, please. Over tabs and spaces. I don't even know why I mentioned that. Okay, let's list another proxy here, and the port is 10,200. So 10,200. I actually have literally no idea which ones of these will actually work and which ones won't. So I am just, oh wow, this one is in Brazil. Socks 5. And the port is 48,000. You can actually configure your proxy to listen on pretty much any port. That's really not a big deal. Oh my god. But now we're just skip Bolivia and use the United States because the bandwidth is probably going to be really bad. Socks 5. Although, arguably, you would get a better level of anonymity in these countries as opposed to perhaps some of the Western countries due to the regulation which is in place, but the bandwidth is also not the best. Since I'm doing this for the demo purposes, it's really unimportant which proxy set am I using. I just need to show how you can actually use the proxies. So socks 5. And the port is again 10,200. Okay, let's see if these actually work. So let's go ahead and close the browser. Type in as non-root user. So as non-root user, not as root user, not start your browser as root. Proxy chains for Firefox. Hit it. Okay, please tell me that at least one of them will work. Okay, so first one has timed out. This is not going to happen to you with a paid proxy. This is going to work with paid proxies. Okay, so let's just open up the conf file so we can see the addresses as they're being listed. So it's going from 189 to 24. It's skipping down the road because actually some of them are not actually functional, and that's the beauty of a dynamic chain. If this was a strict chain, this would crash. It just wouldn't actually work. So it's picking up the certificate, going to the certificate authority, and it's fetching my default site, and hopping and hopping and hopping. It's still loading. So it is loading the site, just taking a while. Sometimes you'll get luckier, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll get some really fast and stable proxies which are free, which is generally awesome, but most of the time free proxies will actually be pretty bad, let me put it like that. Just loading the Fedora site today, my friend, today. I wish I had more luck during these tutorials. And let's just go ahead and try to load another one. So what is my IP? But this one should be easier to digest. Oh well, now it's just a matter of basically waiting. You can see in the terminal up here what sort of data is being fetched and which proxy in the chain is actually being utilized. So it seems that out of like 5 proxies that I specified here, that only one of them is actually functional, which is nothing strange compared to the which is nothing strange in the free proxy world, really. That's the price you have to pay for it being free. Again, as I stated, if you go to any of the VPN providers out there that also offer proxies or something like that, or offer paid proxies, make sure that they are reputable, that they've been around for a while, and that they have good reviews, and not reviews on their own site, but reviews on other forums. Can see what people are saying about them, and if you use them, you can have proxies there for a fairly cheap amount of money. And this is not going to happen. It's not going to be this slow. So the Fedora project is still loading. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I just wanted to show you that I have actually changed my IP if I can. It should have bought a proxy for this demo to show you how it actually works, but trust me, this is not always the case. You will sometimes get luckier, and sometimes you won't. Just the way the world turns. No, my good man, not start Fedora project. I don't care. I really don't care. Again, don't go to the homepage, or you're loading something. Anyway, I'm running a little bit short on time. I'm gonna come back in the follow-up tutorial where I'm gonna revise the proxy list, and then I'll restart Firefox, and then the loading time should actually be better. So, bid you farewell, and hope to see you in the follow-up tutorials where I'll just do a demo of this, and then I'll show you how to set it up and how to set up a free proxy and how to monitor it, and I'll show you what sort of traffic can you actually see.